everyone! Today I would like to talk about why we study literature. There are 4 topics that I will summarize today. The first topic is the definition of literature. There are 2 meanings of literature. The first meaning is anything is written, and another meaning is written which expresses and communicates thoughts, feelings, and attitude toward life. And the second topic is the quality of a piece of writing that we should call literature. That quality is permanence. Okay, for example, The Adventure of Pinocchio by Corrado is well known until today. And the third topic is the character of a good literature. Good literature includes the following qualities. Holding the mirror up to nature, it should be criticism of life. Originally, is a creative work as being nailed. Craftsmanship or technical skill is the art of the right word in the right place and a justness of moral values. And the last topic, listen for studying literature. Listen for studying in the literature are to learn about another country, to appear educated, to pass examinations, and simply to enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Hello, I'mภาวด Today I'm gonna summarize chapter 2. It's about figurative language. It can be divided into 10 types. For the first type is simile. Simile is a figure of speech that use the word like, as, or similar to prepare two different things. For example, he has a beautiful face like a prince. And next, the second type is metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech that is comparison but without the words like as. For example, Nade, you are my sunshine. And next type is personification. Personification is the figure of speech that's in with animals, objects, forms, or method is giving the human quality or characteristic. For example, the ocean dance in the moonrise. And the fourth type is a photography. A photography is a figure of speech that used when a speaker directly addresses someone or something that is not present in the prompt. For example, you were not born for death, but you born for immortals. And next, the fifth type is hyperbole or overstatement. It is a figure of speech that is exaggeration. For example, there is enough food in the cupboard to feed the entire army. And next type is understatement. Understatement is a language that makes something that's less important than it really is. For example, after working your car, it just has a little bit scratch. And next, seventh type is symbol. Symbol is an idea or object used to represent it or something that means more than what it is. For example, snow often comes with a message of calmness or qualities. And next, the eighth type is imaginary. Imaginary is the word picture that the writers use to help evoke an emotional response in reader. For example, the children were screaming and shouting in the fields. And the ninth type is paradox. Paradox is a statement that seems to say something opposite to common sense, but is in fact is contextual. For example, save money by spending it. And next, the last type is irony. Irony is a contact between appearance and reality. For example, the desert was as cool as a base or burning coals.
Fiction. Fiction is the story that's made from imaginations, for example, Harry Potter. And the next point, I want to talk about literary elements. The first is a setting. Settings, there are 3 parts of the setting, which are 1, time. Time is when is the story taking place, for example, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon. And the next is a place. Place is where is the story taking place, for example, Hogwarts School in the Harry Potter. And the last one is a mode. Mode is a what feeling is created at the beginnings of the story. For example, bright, sadness, and darkness. And the next is a character. Character is who the story is about. First is a protagonist. Protagonist is a main character that's a good person. For example, Harry Potter. And next is an antagonist. Antagonist is a main character that's bad persons. For example, Lord Voldemort. And the next is a loud character. Loud character, they stand as well as their weakness. And for examples, Hermione Granger, she always developed throughout in the story and right up to the end. And the last one is a flash character who exhibits only one side of their personalities. For example, Mr. Field. And they always fighting the student breaking school rules. And the next point is a point of view. Point of view is who is telling the story. The first is a first person. First person is the character is in story. I am telling the story. For example, is my diary. And the next one is a third person omniscience. It's about he or she, and the narrator has full access to the tools of all characters in the story. For example, Harry Potter. And the last one is a third person limited. It means the story about he or she. Okay, next part. Part is an event. Event is introductions. Introduction is the beginnings of the story. For example, Harry Potter's he was invented at the Hogwarts School. And rising action. Rising action is event between introductions and climax. And when the Harry go to the Hogwarts School, he always develop his skill of the magic because he prepared himself for the Wizarding War. And climax. Climax is the highest of the story. And for example, Harry know about the theories about the parents. His parents murdered by Voldemort. And feeling actions. Feeling actions is about the events of the results themselves. And for example, is Harry know about the secrets of the Voldemort. And finally, is solutions. Solutions is the end of the story. And for example, Harry Potter killed Voldemort. And the next is a types of conflict. Types of conflicts. There are two parts, which are one is an external conflict. The first is persons and person. For example, is Harry Potter's. Okay, the next is a person and natures. For example, is Life of Pi. And next is a person and fate. For example, is Lord of the Ring. And the next is persons and society. For example, is Romeo and Juliet. And two parts is an internal conflict, person and self. For example, Frozen. And the last one is a teams. Teams, there are two parts of team. Is first is a state teams. The meaning of state team are directly presented in the story. For example, is fable, the dog and reflections. There are the morals of the fables. Next, second is a implied themes. Implied theme is must be influenced by considering all the elements of the story, and acting what message about life is covered. For example, is Harry Potter. Finally, endings. Harry was happy and Lord Voldemort was unhappy.
Welcome to Literature Update. Today we will talk about nonfiction. Cross-writing about people, places, and events. Nonfiction writers present information they consider true, written in either the first or third person point of view. There are two types of nonfiction: literary nonfiction and informative nonfiction. Literary nonfiction tells the story in narrative way and has characteristics of fiction, such as setting, characters, theme, and plot.
autobiography, just like A Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank or the memoir West with the Night by Barry McCann. They are examples of literary nonfiction that writers use the first-person point of view to write about their own life. Differently, a biography, just like the biography of Nelson Mandela, the writer uses the third-person point of view to write about the life of someone else, that is Nelson Mandela. Okay, next, I will talk about another type of nonfiction, that is informative nonfiction. Informative nonfiction includes essays, speeches, and articles that explain a topic or promote an opinion. Two major types of informative nonfiction are expository essays and persuasive essays. Expository essays explain a topic, for example, news reporting, or an essay with the topic why you admire a particular person. Okay, next, persuasive essays. That is when the writer promotes an opinion and call for the action. For example, an essay that with the topic cigarettes should be banned, that the writer have to explain opinion about it and call for the action, that is stop smoking. Okay, to analyze a nonfiction, begin by identify the type of work you're reading. Is it an autobiography, a memoir, a biography, or another type of nonfiction writing? And then identify the author's purposes, to inform or to persuade. Okay, once you identify the type of work you're reading, look for short story elements in a work of narrative nonfiction. Look for thesis or the supporting details in a work of informative nonfiction. Every piece of nonfiction writing is unique, so consider how each work is similar to as well as different from other writing of its kind. This is all for literature update today. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Raj. Today I am going to tell you about characteristics of drama. Okay, let's get started. Setting is identified at the beginning of the play. After case of characters such as place, time, weather conditions. Additional detail about character is appear throughout the play, often at the beginning of scenes and acts. For example, in the morning, Snow White plays with two birds in the forest. Morning is time and the fallen is place. Okay, next. Characters are who the story about. The case of character is this at the beginning of the play. The writer may briefly describe character when she or he first appear in the play. You also learn about the character so there was. For example, once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess named Snow White. Okay, next. Plot of drama. Plot of drama is a series of related events in which a problem or conflict is exploded and then solved. Okay, for example, Snow White took one bite of the apple and fell into a deep sleep. This is the plot of drama that is climax. It is highest of interest and the turning point of the story between person versus person. Okay, next. Okay, dialogue. Dialogue is a take of a page consists largely of dialogue or conversation between characters. For example, Queen said, Snow White, do you want to eat the beautiful red apple? Snow White answers, wow, of course. Queen, how is it? Snow White, it's very sweet, I like it. Okay, and these are conversation between characters. Next, K for prologue. Prologue is opening segment that introduce the rest of the play. For example, the first 3 lines are: When April with his shower sweet with fruit, the dog with letter that has power. It is from the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, and this tell the audience that the play introduced the various people he or she will be going on engagement with. Okay, next. The acts. The acts are group of scenes that form an important part of the stories. A story will be 1 to 5 parts of acts. For example, นี่นะคะก็จะเป็นตัวอย่างจาก From Romeo and Juliet นะคะ Act 1 นะคะ Act 1 Prologue Prologue is mean open statement ก็คือใน Act แรกนะคะก็จะเป็นการเปิดเรื่องก็คือในเมืองนี้นะคะจะมีคู่รักอยู่คู่หนึ่งที่ครอบครัวเขาเนี่ยไม่ถูกกันเลยก็คือครอบครัวโรมิโอแล้วก็จูเลียตนะคะพ่อแม่เขาไม่ถูกกันการที่พ่อแม่ไม่ถูกกันเนี่ยค่ะก็จะทำให้เส้นทางความรักของเขาเนี่ยค่ะนำไปสู่ความตายค่ะ and Act 2 Rising Action This is where the event in the story become complicated and conflict in the story ก็คือจุดที่เรื่องนี้นะคะเกิดเหตุก็คือคู่รักคู่นี้โรมิโอกับจูเลียตเนี่ยนะคะสองคนนี้เนี่ยเขาได้ตกหลุมรักกันแต่เขารู้ว่าเขาอะไม่สามารถที่จะรักกันได้นะคะเพราะครอบครัวเขาไม่ถูกกันแต่ว่าเขาเนี่ยนะคะสองคนนี้ก็ได้ตัดสินใจที่จะแต่งงานกันอย่างลับๆค่ะ and Act 3 Act 3 is climax This is the highest point of interest and turning point of the story อันนี้นะคะก็เป็นจุดไคลแม็กซ์คือจุดสูงสุดเลยที่มันจะเกิดเรื่องก็คือหลังจากที่เขาเนี่ยได้ไปในปาร์ตี้กันตีบอลเนี่ยลูกพี่ลูกน้องของจูเลียตคนนี้นะคะเขาก็ได้ไปพบกับลูกเรือของมองทากิวและเมอร์ซิโอเนี่ยเพื่อนสนิทของโรมิโอเนี่ยเขาเนี่ยได้ถูกสังหารนะคะเพื่อแก้แค้นเพื่อนนะคะโรมิโอเนี่ยก็ได้ร่วมการต่อสู้ครั้งนี้ด้วยและเขาก็ได้ฆ่าตีบอลนะคะลูกพี่ลูกน้องของจูเลียตซึ่งเป็นแฟนของเขานั่นเองโรมิโอนะคะถูกเนรเทศนะคะแต่ว่าก่อนที่เขาจะถูกเนรเทศเนี่ยเขาก็ได้มอบคืนแต่งงานอันแสนพิเศษให้กับจูเลียตค่ะ Okay for Act 4 Act 4 is following action the event and complications begin to resolve themselves ก็คือ Act 4 เนี่ยก็คือจุดที่เรื่องนี้นะคะค่อยๆที่จะคลายปัญหาแล้วนะคะ Okay for example นะคะก็คือพ่อของจูเลียตเนี่ยได้ขอให้เธอเนี่ยแต่งงานกับเขาปารีสเนี่ยเป็นครั้งที่2ซึ่งการแต่งงานครั้งที่2นี้นะคะเธอเนี่ยไม่ต้องการเธอกับลอเรนซ์ก็คือนักบวชลอเรนซ์เนี่ยนะคะได้วางแผนที่จะทำให้ตัวเธอเองเนี่ยได้เหมือนว่าเธอตายไปโดยการที่เขาเนี่ยกินยานอนหลับค่ะ Okay next is for Act 5 Act 5 is denouement This is the final outcome or untraining of event in the story ก็คือเป็นจุดที่ทุกอย่างเนี่ยได้คลี่คลายแล้วนะคะ Okay for example ก็คือนักบวชลอเรนซ์กับจูเลียตเนี่ยนะคะเขาได้วางแผนกันก็คือนักบวชลอเรนซ์เนี่ยเขาได้ออกมาพูดว่าได้มาถ่ายทอดสิ่งที่จูเลียตเนี่ยได้วางแผนไว้ก็คือฉันรู้สึกว่าฉันต้องรับผิดชอบฉันก็เลยแต่งงานกับพวกเขาโดยหวังว่าจะยุติการต่อสู้ในครั้งนี้นะคะก็คือสิ่งนี้คือสิ่งที่นักบวชลอเรนซ์ได้พูดก็คือในฐานะที่เขาเนี่ยเป็นคนเดียวที่รู้เรื่องทั้งหมดที่เกิดขึ้นนะคะนักบวชเขาก็ได้อธิบายให้ครอบครัวเนี่ยเพื่อที่จะได้ตัดสินใจที่จะจบความขัดแย้งกันในที่สุดนะคะอันนี้ก็คือจุดจบของเรื่องนี้นั่นเองค่ะOkay, for the statement direction, it means information in the script of the play. That instruct the director, the actors, or author involved with of characters. The state direction are usually encoded in the brackets. For example, Snow White meets the hangman in the forest. The hangman knelt to tell her to run far away. Snow White shocked and afraid. Okay, next.
Your touch is with me always. It's burnt into my skin, as soft and warm as sunlight when the summer day sits in. This is a poetry. Poetry is type of literature, consists of speaker. Speaker is the narrative voice that speaker want to convey to reader, such as this poetry. The writer want to converse about love. Next, line and stanza. It means many words that are arranged together into a line and multiple lines into a stanza, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 words is a line and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines is a stanza. Next, lam. Lam is repetitions of sound, such as always and less, because 2 words is the same sound. Next, rims and meter. It means the sound creates of state and unstated syllable in line, such as one this night, all of night of the year. Next, other sound device such as alliterations. Alliterations is repetitions of consonant sound such as big, bad, bob. And assonant. Assonant is repetitions of vowel sound such as tilting as with mine. And onomatopoeia. It means use words or suggest the sound is described, such as the sound of cat or natural sound. And imagery. Imagery is narrative that makes the reader see or feel, such as a cake is delicious and sweet. Next, finger of speech is used other tactics such as simile. Simile is used like or as to compare, such as she looked like a star. And metaphor. Metaphor is compare one thing with another, such as the sun is golden ball. And personifications is using human actions to animate to objects, such as the flower blow in the wind. Thank you.